The Sciforror Film Podcast.
Hello.
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 Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to the Sciforror Film Podcast. I'm Andy Walker, and I'm joined by my friend Badger, as always.
Hello, everyone. How you doing, Andy?
I'm all right, thank you, Badger.
I noticed you've had a trim up, sir.
Yeah, I know. Bizarrely, totally independent of each other, we both had a shave.
Yeah.
It's just kind of weird that it's worked out that way. It's just,
It is.
I got completely fed up because my beard and everything was out here, and I was eating soup the other day, and I was just getting it all in my moustache and beard, and I thought, no, time to have a trim.
Yeah, honestly, I was like, no, I've rocked the mohawky comb over thing for a good 3 years, and it was like sort of not working out the way I wanted it to. You know, I was literally turning into Donald Trump, but you know, I literally had a comb over that was about that big.
Yeah.
You know. And it literally covered over the whole of the thing. And I was like, no, you know what? I'm going to restart it. I'm going to grow it back a bit, and I'll probably have a bit of an old man mohawk, you know.
Well, you see, the problem I have is if I trim my beard back like this and I don't do my head, I'll start looking like my dad. So I have to shave it off.
See, I'm not really allowed to touch the beard. The missus said to me, no, you're not allowed to touch the beard. You know, when we first met, you had a bald head, so that's all right. But it always makes me laugh because she goes, all right, baldy now. And I'm like, you're the one that did it, and you're taking the piss.
My beard and everything grows back so quickly that it's sort of, you know, I mean,
yeah,
you know, I can do this now. In about 3 months' time, it'll be back out here.
I know, it'll be exactly the same for me. Wait till next week, I'll be like floofing it again.
Right, a couple of things before we move on. I'm going to look at something now, which isn't something I do very often. I had some comments. We had some comments on videos.
Oh yes,
yes. Guys who did the Creaster film.
Oh yeah,
was saying that that apparently their producer decided to put the thing in the beginning about the Easter Island. I'm not sure if that was the rest of them really knew what was going on there.
Oh, okay.
But they are working on a full-length film which should be out at some point.
Oh right, so that they didn't even know it was about Easter Island.
Well, I think that wasn't something that was totally agreed. I'm not absolutely sure. But you know, it was interesting to get a comment from them.
Yes, and a bit of feedback. Yeah, so maybe that'll evolve in, and they're going to work on a full film. That's
yes. Good. And I also got a message from the guy that I was talking about, who was in Split Second, the Shend.
Oh yeah.
Who said that he doesn't remember much about doing that film. How he managed, he said, I was only in it for one tiny scene. He said, and for some reason, I managed to get a credit on it. And he didn't know why. He said, but they had really good fun. And apparently, Rutger Hauer, a few of them, Rutger Hauer gave them a lift back to their hotel. And on the way, he bought them fish and chips. So
awesome, yeah. So that sounds good.
So that was nice.
So that's your claim. They can be a claim to fame, isn't it? I was bought fish and chips by Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, yeah, it's not a bad story to have, is it? Really,
not a bad story at all. No.
Okay, right. So this week we are doing we're doing science fiction, although yes. Again, we have the normal thing of 2 short films and a feature film. So we'll start off with the first one, which is from 2023, and it's a film called Somewhere in Between.
Yeah.
Writers with it are John Horan and Kyle Vorbach. Director is Kyle Vorbach. The cast is John Horan, Taylor Miziak, Ryan O'Flanagan, and Gregory Santos. The synopsis for this says two will they won't they friends are keeping it simple this New Year's Eve until their house is crashed by a man from the future who tells them that the fate of the universe rests in their hands. Now, I was massively disappointed in this film.
Really, was you?
Yes, because it says on the thing on it all that it's an award-winning time travel comedy, and it's not. It is not a time travel story. It's not science fiction. It's at
Well,
best a rom-com that has time travel included, but nobody actually travels in time. And I was just left feeling a bit kind of like I've been cheated.
well, I actually was completely the opposite. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was a tribute to British comedy.
It,
And yes, but they did allude that it might actually be a time traveler as well. There was that sort of note that it could still be
but it
time
wasn't.
travel.
It wasn't. It wasn't a time travel. It wasn't science fiction. It wasn't anything to do with time travel, really. It was like
No, but there was a subtlety there that
I
it
just,
could be real.
I was felt like I was being cheated because I just felt it wasn't what they said it was. And
Yes and no, yes and no. Um, but maybe sometimes that's part of the fun. You go into it, and it was enjoy. God, did you enjoy the jokes and the comedy and
it was all
the
right.
cast was there, wasn't
It
it?
was all
Huh?
right.
No, honestly, I think you watched a different film, sir, because the comedy was there, the acting was great, it was hilarious.
I think I just did the whole thing for me is it's kind of like if you sell something as being an award winning time travel film, it should be about time travel, and it's not.
It was
It's a
though. It was
it
about time
wasn't.
travel.
It was about a bloke conning his this girl he fancied to think that somebody had travelled in time. It had nothing to do with actual time travel.
But that was the twist at the end. That was the twisty McTwisty face. The whole storyline was about them coming together, saving the universe, and all that sort of stuff. And how do you know that wasn't the main purpose
They
anyway
didn't time.
of that thing?
And yet, we've been saving the universe. What they did was they got together and had a relationship. That doesn't necessarily save the universe.
But then otherwise the time traveler wouldn't have existed,
But
you
the
know.
time traveler wasn't a time traveler, and he wasn't anything to do with them. He was somebody. He was an actor that this guy hired to pretend to be their son from the future.
Was it? Was
Yes,
it?
yes.
But there was that element of it could be a time travel.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't. It was. That's what got me. Is that it was. There was nothing. Oh, I don't know. I just kind of like was disappointed because I just thought, it annoys me when people say this is something and this is what it is, and then it's something different.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
totally understand that. I just really liked the twist, and
uh,
obviously, I love a lot of like stuff with Simon Pegg and Spaced and things like that, and
yeah.
it just reminded me of that sort of sense of humour, you know.
I like Spaced. It was okay. I like some of the Simon Pegg stuff and some of the films that they've done and that sort of thing. But then you see, I was having a discussion with a friend of mine. I loved Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah,
I haven't seen World's End.
yes, you have to be. That is one you really put. World's End was one they did just because they had to. I
But
didn't rate it that much.
I haven't seen that, but I can't stand the other one.
Re-
What's it called? Uh,
Hot Fuzz?
Hot Fuzz. I thought it's absolute
Really?
rubbish
Wow, I don't understand. Why do you not like Hot Fuzz?
because
What's
it's
the matter with
boring
you?
as hell. The problem I have with the other thing I have a problem with of Hot Fuzz is it reminds me. I mean, like the the cop bits in it remind me too much of things like the Thin Blue Line, which I thought was rubbish. But the kind of folk horror bits of it remind me too much of the Wicker Man. And I can't stand the Wicker Man.
What?
I've never understood why everyone rates it as being one of the best horror films, British horror films ever made, because I think it's so boring.
Oh my God, Andy, I'm in shock. I'm in shock now. I really am.
I think the Wicker Man is so overrated.
Oh no.
It's too long. It's boring. It's not scary, and I don't know why everyone rates it.
Look at that. God, who are you? And what have you done with Andy?
It's
No.
it's the way I've always felt. I've never liked it. I
I am
saw
in
it.
shock.
I've seen it a couple of times. Well, I've
I
seen it about
really
three
am.
times altogether, and it's never done anything for
Wow.
me.
I'm just really curious. So when because I absolutely love Hot Fuzz. It's a tribute to British action films and British comedy and all
No,
that.
it doesn't do
And
it for me at all.
wow. Because the thing is, I've even been to a special screening of the film
Uh,
where you had the props department and he showed you how they operated the swan and everything. So they used a mixture of a real swan and a fake one. And they showed you all the animatronics and how they built the
yeah,
miniature village and
I might
everything.
I might find things like that quite interesting, just from a purely cinematic sort of point
Yeah.
of view. But the actual film itself, I just
Because they used a lot of miniatures. You know, when they blow up the
yeah
mansion, that's a miniature, and they threw a bit of CGI in for good luck.
yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Oh wow! I can't believe you don't like the Wicker Man.
I can't stand it. It's
Next,
just
you'll be saying you don't like Night of the Demon.
no, Night of the Demon's good. I like that.
Oh, thank God! Thank God!
No,
Thank
I just think there are certain films I just think that are massively overrated, and I think The Wicker Man is one of them.
God! That's mad. Oh, but I'm really shocked that you didn't like this short film. I know,
No,
like you say, it doesn't really set it as a time travel piece, but
I
the
think that
comedy is just there. It's hilarious, and the
it,
timing's there too.
yeah, I mean it's okay. It's. I'm not saying it's a bad film as a film.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, yeah, didn't do it for me.
Wow, I am completely the opposite. I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it.
It wouldn't do for us both to like the same thing all the time.
No, I'm just really genuinely shocked. And
Hey,
we are going to review The Wicker Man soon. I'm going to make you watch it.
no, no. I've already watched it far too many times. I've watched it at least
Wicker
three
Man
times.
comparison.
I've watched, I have no desire to watch the one with Keanu Reeves.
It was Cage, wasn't
Nicholas Cage, yeah, sorry.
it?
Yeah, no, yeah, I've got no desire to watch that at all.
But yet you like Midsummer.
No, I haven't never seen Midsummer.
Ah, oh, right, okay, okay. We've got to watch
Never seen
Midsummer. I want to
Midsummer.
see what you think of Midsummer. If you don't like Wicker Man and you like Midsummer, I'm going to be like, what the heckle? I really
Well,
am. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
we'll see what happens. All right, on to our second film.
I need a bit of, I need to quite sit down.
The second of our two short films is from 2017, and this is an animated film called Green Light. The writers are Wu Chin Chang and Seon Min Kim, and the director is Seon Min Kim. And the synopsis says, with the ecosystem destroyed after a nuclear war, Mari, a survivor, does all she can to rebuild. When she stumbles upon a robot soldier in an abandoned city, everything changes. I really like this. I thought the animation was really good. The characters were well put together, and the story was good. It was it was I thought it was well paced, and the action. There's a couple of action scenes in it, not many, but they work really well. I really found it an enjoyable film to watch.
It literally was cyberpunk mixed in with a bit of clockwork and a bit of cuteness, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
It was literally. I was like, "Oh, this is cuteness overload" to begin with. I really liked it, yeah. And the animation was very crisp, very modern,
absolutely.
very clean. And but sometimes when you're dealing with dystopian stuff, a bit of dirt goes a long way. So that's probably my only thing is that it was a bit too clean. But that's modern cartoons or modern animation, as it were, as you have it. I
Yeah,
mean, for me, the ultimate dystopian apocalyptic stuff is Akira, So, you
yeah,
know, the fact that it looks dirty and old adds to it. But yeah, the cleanliness was good. It was really nice. It was a good film. Reminded me a little bit of, is it Iron Giant? It had
yeah,
that sort of vibe to it.
yeah, yeah.
It was a good film. Yeah, I
Yeah, no,
thoroughly
it was.
liked
It
it.
was. It was an enjoyable little film. It wasn't. It didn't strain your brain cells too much to watch it or to understand it.
No,
But it was an enjoyable little film, and it kind of had a nice sort of touching end
yes,
that kind of worked well.
yeah, which was quite cute. Yeah, and obviously it was hard for um, her brain because obviously those robots were mainly bad, weren't they? So when
Yeah,
it turned good with her help, that was very touching and stuff. And yeah, no, it was an enjoyable film. It reminded me of a few films that we've seen recently, like
yeah,
Wild Robot and all that sort of stuff. And well, you could tell it was in. If it wasn't inspired by Wally, I'd be quite surprised. It had that vibe to it. No,
yeah.
it was a nice film, and like you say, non-offensive. You could watch it, make you smile. It's a nice way to spend 16 minutes. It was
Absolutely,
quite
yeah,
cute.
definitely. I think definitely a film that you know, a good film to watch.
Very cute. Yeah, and like you say, the bit at the end was a sort of a subtle. It saved enough energy to guard the place and say bye to her if she come back, and that was beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was nice.
Hmm.
Okay, our feature film this week is from this year, from 2026. It's on Netflix at the moment, and
Hmm.
it's a film called War Machine. The writers are Patrick Hughes and James Beaufort. Director is Patrick Hughes. The cast is Alan Richardson, uh, Stephen James, Richardson, Dennis Quaid, Isia Morales, and Jai Courtney. Full list of people is on IMDb because there are others, and also James Beaufort and Patrick Hughes are both in the film as well as doing all the stuff with it. The synopsis says, follow the final recruits of a grueling special ops boot camp who encounter a mysterious, deadly force.
Hmm.
It kind of starts off as a standard sort of American Army film, the sort of gung ho thing and all that sort of stuff, and the Army boot camp and all that. And the one guy who's the sort of hero of the day, if you like, and all that sort of thing. But what I liked about it is that you've got this kind of story going on in the background of this asteroid, which doesn't impinge too much on what's going on in the film until it needs to.
Yeah, and that was really nice, wasn't it? The way they did it. You
Yeah,
know, the I think the storytelling in this film, like you say, it could have been very generic, like the one we watched the other week with Anthony Mackie. It could have just gone along that route
yeah,
and been a generic sort of like soldier sci-fi. But this, it was almost like they watched that and went, actually, we did a few steps wrong with that. Let's make it. Let's take the same sort of thing, change it up, and make it better.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the action scenes were great. That first one where you kind of like sitting there watching it, thinking, well, what's going to happen, what's going on, and then all of a sudden you've got these like explosions and
Mm.
you know the people and trucks being blown all over the place and that sort of thing. That was incredibly well done.
Yeah, and it was very fast paced, wasn't it? Very
Oh
fast
yeah,
paced. Like some of the scenes, and I did like it because there was a lot of stuff that was given time to breathe, and there was a lot of stuff where I really liked the waterfall scene. I'm going to be chopping and changing with bits and pieces of the
yeah, yeah.
film, but the waterfall scene for me was one of the best scenes because yeah, you had the big giant threat in the background, but it was all about just them trying to save each other, and how they handled it all, and the humanity of the situation as well was really good. And I don't know if that was CGI or if it was real water, but I tell you, the effects in that scene was fantastic.
It was excellent. I mean, that's the whole thing. I would say that there are some absolutely brilliant effects in this film.
Yeah,
Um, and
it,
what I liked about it is the fact you had things like that, and you had like the flashbacks to his brother, and him trying to save his brother and all that kind of thing, which were kind of, as you say, they were allowed, given time to breathe, and they gave you so. But there were bits that were so edge of your seat. They were so kind of
mm,
like, oh my God, I got, or really kind of intense.
yeah,
It worked so well the way that they paced it and they put it together. I just thought it was brilliant.
and you and like you say, you never really knew what was going to happen. This big monstrous machine thing, I was a bit like, is it going to transform? Is it going to be able to do this? Is it going to be able to do it? And there was a few times where it did. It sort of changed it up. One minute it was just firing rockets. Next minute, literally the whole mouth of the thing opened up, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
you know, yeah, I absolutely loved it. And like I said, the pacing of it was good, but even the alien was grounded in a way. You know, we didn't see any sort of like weird tentacles plop out of it or anything like that.
No,
It was just a really scary robot.
absolutely. And I think it was an excellently designed robot because it was just a war machine.
Yeah.
It was just there just simply for the purpose of destroying things.
Mm. And that was part of the fun. That was part of. But like you said, and it actually gave you characters that you cared about, which is rare.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've been watching Friday the 13th, the series, like the episode, and it's actually refreshing for me to watch something where you care about the background characters.
Well, the other thing, I mean, given the way the world is at the moment and all that sort of thing, and the fact that American army films or American military films can be very gung ho and all that sort of thing. And so often you just don't give a damn about the people in them because you're very not
Oh,
unlikable people. And they weren't. They were all really kind of like human people and they really kind of came across. Even the guys at the top who were giving the orders came across as being sort of like real human people with feelings and with understanding. And it was
yeah,
really nice to see that.
yeah, and like you say, that's how. I mean, was it an hour and 45 minutes?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that, and they still gave the film time to add in plot progression, character progression, and getting to know what was going on.
And
So
I mean,
this is where it was different from the film we watched the other week with Anthony
yeah,
Mackie, where it
yeah.
literally was, I'm a AI robot and I'm going to save the day, but in a bad way, and then the humans go no. There was a
But
lot more progression in the people around you.
definitely. And I think the thing about it as well, I liked is the fact that the story is open enough for there to possibly be a sequel if somebody decides that that might be a
Mm,
good idea. But it's not that open at the end that you're going to say, oh, there's definitely going to be a part two.
yeah,
And if there
and
wasn't, I wouldn't be too upset because I'm quite happy with what I've seen.
yeah, it was a singular story that did what it was meant to do. And like you say, I actually like the fact that this was grounded. Sometimes films they're grounded. There's a single adversary, and they're fighting along. That's the best ones. I always say all the best Spider-Man films are the ones where Spider-Man's just fighting one villain.
Yeah.
As soon as they overcrowd it, the fans, the average day fan loves it that Venom, Sandman, Green Goblin, and several others are all in it, and there's all these big fights. But sometimes it's better when you have one signal good guy with the team, and then the one really unstoppable menace that they have to fight.
Yeah,
Sometimes the simpler the plot, the better.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I just think, the story works really well. It's a really good story. It's good. Yeah, it does have the kind of slightly cliched thing of like this guy's a real kind of like, you know, he's effectively the human equivalent of the robot. He's kind of like this war machine himself.
Yeah,
But
he
you know,
is. Yeah, definitely. He
um,
he's like a tough SOB, definitely.
and yeah, that can be a bit cliched, but it kind of like it was done in such a good way that it didn't feel like that.
No, I'm only getting that vibe now that you've mentioned it. Yeah, and it was literally the humans versus the robots. Yeah, and
Yeah,
but that, like you say, it was almost like, what is he going to do to come up with it? There was a few honest to goodness MacGyver moments there, which I loved. You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
well, how is he going to do that? And I was like, oh yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, it was. That's the thing. He did come up with some really clever things. And what I mean, the effects. I mean, as somebody who is very into horror stuff, the
Yes,
effects of the corpses and that sort of thing was so brilliantly done.
yeah, they
They
were.
looked so real.
Yeah, I mean, my favourite bit that also made me nearly heave was he climbs up the mountain, doesn't he, to try and find the number, like the one that's gone, and
Yeah,
it literally was like a charred body with like entrails all plooping out, and I was like, wow,
yeah,
that's great effects, you know,
yeah, absolutely.
you know.
The sort of half bodies and things like this. It was so well done.
And yeah, and to be able to pull that off was great because I'm not sure if that was CGI or you know,
I don't
but
know.
I loved it. I thought it would look really good, you
I,
know.
I really enjoyed watching this film. It was
Mm,
a good action sci-fi film,
yeah,
and I
and
and
it
I,
and
I
it
like
felt like it didn't drag either. It did what it needed to
no,
do, and the twist at the end, the extra bits at the end, because they could have revealed that through the movie, but I feel that it spoilt it. The bit of it was perfect the way they did it. A
yeah,
singular story, like you say, that then branches off and could have a trilogy. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
you could look at this as like a modern Independence Day type film, really.
yeah,
So it'd be great if they do another one and then another one. But if they don't, it was quite nice as a single story, and then America are off to defeat the bad guy.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Mm.
So yeah, I really enjoyed watching that. I must admit, I wasn't sure I was going to because the way things are in the world at the moment. The last thing I want to see is American Army stuff. But
Yeah,
I was pleasantly surprised with how good it was.
yeah, me too, me too. Because I'm always a bit unsure when it comes to war films and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and I'm always a bit like, oh, set. I had to sit through years of these and westerns with my dad. And I'm
yeah,
always a bit like, oh, not another one. But
yeah.
no, I was pleasantly surprised. It was really good.
Yes, I agree. Okay, there you are. There are our three films. You got the somewhere in between short film, which I couldn't stand. Well, no, I couldn't stand. I didn't like, but Badger did. Uh,
Yeah, but please, obviously, tell us if you did create this film or you had anything to do with it. Let us know where the direction was meant to be, because was it originally meant to be a science fiction thing and they sort of plugged it as that because they weren't sure what to do, or was it always meant to be this sort of weird comedy with a twist?
and
Let us know.
if anybody wants, as I say, I always put links up to these films. So watch the film, go and watch the film, and let us know if you agree with or disagree with either of us. I mean, I'm more than happy to have people tell me that I'm wrong.
Most,
Um,
and me too. If you think I'm insane and you think that they're a bunch of liars and they falsely put it in there, let us know. I mean, like you said, the whole thing with the Easter Island thing in the other film makes no sense either. So who
yeah.
knows?
true. And then second film was Greenlight, good animation film, nice bit of kind of soft science fiction animation film.
Yes, it's like drinking a cup of tea for the eyeballs.
Absolutely. And then War Machine, which is a good paced action sci-fi movie and well worth a watch.
Definitely well worth a watch. And if you enjoy lots of good CGI and lots of action and lots of sort of American culture, then you'll love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Pedro.
No worries, no worries. Is there any other news that we might be?
Well, I've got there's going to be another interview up this weekend with an actor called David Tunstall, who has done some horror stuff and things like that. Next time we will be doing horror, and I'm just trying to remember actually something I was going to. Oh no. Next time we will be doing a film that Badger has chosen for us to do. I think on the premise that it's one I'm probably not going to like, but we shall see.
We shall see. We shall see.
All right. Thank you very much indeed.
You might think it's brilliant. You
I
never
might
know.
do. You never know. That there is always that vague possibility. Um, Thank you to everybody for listening and watching and tuning in. Please like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. And
Share.
yeah, share it all around and let people know what we're doing and everything. And we will see you next time.
Indeed.
Bye.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.
The Sciforror Film Podcast.